Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Chris and Tammy here coming to you live from the Thunder Beach for another 2 weeks. And then we're back to Toronto, Canada, and to our home. And again, we're always delighted to have you here every Fridays. We do a presentation at 11 a.m. It is something that we do because we want to make sure that we reach all the different parts of the world based on different time zones. On Wednesday evening, we do a company presentations at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And today we do a presentation in our own channel at 11 a.m. And again, to try to appeal to many people. And you know what's a lot of fun, folks, is there's many presentations that are taking place with GotBackup that are hosted by many wonderful leaders. One thing I'd like to start just before we begin here, folks, is, from time to time, there are updates and changes that occurs in a company. And GotBackup is introducing a brand new funnel, a brand new system to automate your business on Saturday at 10 o'clock Eastern time. You do not want to miss that. That's really, really important because it could be a game changer for many, many, many people. So, Tammy, let's go ahead and kind of share with the
Chris,
audience.
it will be a game changer for everybody.
I get
oh my
you.
gosh.
It's just my diplomacy always talking
Oh
about
my gosh. I'm
not being
so
absolute.
excited. I'm so
Yes.
excited about what's coming.
Oh, it's really, really exciting. So, Tammy, let's share with the audience here. How did we get introduced to GotBackup?
Yeah, so the owner of GotBackup, Joel Terrier, connected with Chris and I a couple years ago. We've known him for many, many years, 20 plus years. Watched our kids grow up, watch his kids grow up. It's a great relationship that we have. And Chris used to use one of his services, which he'll explain in the presentation. And he contacted us to tell us about this new project that he has with GotBackup. And we were open to have a look at it because the digital age is where to go. And because we had a great relationship, we watched him build his brand for many, many years. And he watched us have our success for many, many years in the network marketing space, building international businesses. And so when we had a look at it, like you're going to see today, for us, it was so easy to make a decision to sign up because we understand trends, we understand waves, we understand global business. And for us, it was absolutely, as Joel always says, a no-brainer to get started.
Absolutely. And first of all, I want to welcome Esther from Accra, Ghana, Michael from Accra, Ghana. Tammy and I haven't been in Accra for a while. It's such a beautiful city. MC, great to have you here from Texas. Wonderful. Joseph, great to have you here.
Oh, we got Joseph from Nigeria. Awesome.
Yes. Welcome.
Nigeria too. Yeah.
Yes. So, folks, the reason why Tammy and I got really excited about this business venture is we have created friendships from all over the world, from East Africa to West Africa, down to South Africa, down from North America, down to South America, all the Americas. We've been to Asia, we've been to Australia, we've been to New Zealand, we've been to all over the world. We understand that today there are shifts that are going on with our economy, and it's very difficult for the average folks, people like us, to start a new business, because everything is increasing, prices increasing, we get less for more. So at the end of the day, we saw an opportunity where family can actually benefit from a global opportunity. We saw potential for massive growth and success. And why is that? You're going to see, many of you might be aware that we're going to be talking about a cloud storage service in a company like Dropbox, who's been around, who took 7 years to get into momentum, has over 700 million users. So we saw massive growth possibilities for success. And we saw that it's a time where people can turn their dreams into reality. And I like to look at this slide here because it represents the reality of life. You see here the father with his beautiful family kind of showing off the new set of keys because they brought this brand new home. Or what about traveling where you want to opposed to where you can afford to go? Or adding new members of the family. We understand today the cost of living has increased so much that has a very strong impact in decision making can we afford a new family member. That should not be a reason for not having another child. And the last point here is retirement, folks. We work an entire life to retire from the fruit of our labor, but we understand that there's been so many changes that has slashed many people's retirement funds that now people are not sitting comfortably. This could be another venture that could feed that. Right. So this is what we want to talk to you about. So let's start, Tammy, a little bit about the possibilities of empowering families.
Yeah, and our goal is to help average people to build an above average lifestyle. Chris and I have been able to do that for so many years. And we want other people to also live their dreams. I think, Chris, in today's world, people just stop dreaming and they're so stuck on, waking up, that same old routine, waking up, getting ready, go to work, come home, and rest a little bit at night, and doing the same routine over and over and over and over. And they're not living abundance. They're not living the life that they truly want. If you ask them, what do they really want? So, that's why we get so passionate about doing these presentations, to doing Saturday trainings, to help the company, is because we want to see people succeed.
I totally agree, Tammy. And if you follow the stock market, maybe many of you are not, but I tend to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And the stock market is very interesting because it really shows where the trends are taking place. And if you look at Netflix, right, a TV channel program worth over $1,000 for one share, this is telling you that a lot of people are watching TV now, right? So this is in line to what Tammy was sharing about. So back to the presentation here, folks. The company began in 1997 in Gatineau, Quebec. In fact, this is where I met Joel. And as Tammy stated, I was basically, I created a website and I needed a hosting service to be able to have my website there. And this is how far ago, we're talking around 2001, 2, or 3. I forgot the exact date there. But the fact here, folks, is it was at that time. And I remember Joel telling me that the growth of the company have increased so much that the bandwidth is it's basically the fiber infrastructure that's underground. It's like if you look at a driving road, right? It's like how many roads that are available based on a certain amount of population. Like if you go to Toronto, for example, there are something like, I think there's 14 or 16 lane on the 401. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is a lot of driving space, and it's still, there's traffic. So what does that tell you? The population is increasing and the demand is increasing. And this is what's going on when I talk about bandwidth. So they moved into in San Antonio, Texas. In fact, it's right beside it. And
Schertz, Texas.
Schertz, Texas. That's correct. And it's a 10,000 data center, which is completely paid in full. This is a debt-free company, folks. That is very important, especially when you're looking at the long term, getting involved in a company. So in line of that, let's listen to the owner, Joel Terrier, talking about what's happening on the back end, because I think it will kind of illustrate what we have to offer to the inline consumer.
Hey guys, welcome to the corporate office of GotBackup. Now everybody wants to know, are we super secure? And how do we offer such an amazing service at such a low price? So this is in our tech room. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take you on a tour of our server room to show you just how secure it is, and we welcome you into the family. So let's go over to the server room. So the first thing I wanna explain to you guys is that we're fully PCI compliant. For physical PCI compliance, what does that mean? It means we're allowed to physically store credit cards in our data center because we're uber secure. So we've passed all the tests for that, and we're legally allowed to store credit cards and your storage. So one of the first requirements for PCI compliance is you have to have 2 coded doors before you get into your server room. We also, as a company, like to have fun, so we call it Area 51. So anyway, I'm gonna code this door with my back here so you guys can't see what the code is. Come in this way. This is a simple inventory room, guys. We build servers here and so forth. And then our second coded door is over here, okay? And so we have a coded door here as well to get into the server room. So here we are in the server room, guys. This is where all the magic happens. So a couple of things people ask. Joel, how secure is my data, and could you ever lose our data? So as an example, let's come here. It's impossible to lose your data, and here's why. If you look at this storage array, and we have, hundreds of storage arrays in here, there's 14 hard drives across this storage array. 4 of these hard drives could fail, which statistically never happens, but let's say it did. 4 of these hard drives need to fail before we start to lose some data. But guess what? We're not going to lose any data because this is striped to here. This whole rack of hard drives here is copied here. Just the same here. All these hard drives here are copied here. So there's not a single point of failure relative to your data. There's also no single point of failure in the server room. As an example, there's A power and B power. Every server is plugged into A power. Every server is plugged into B power. Also, relative to cooling of this room, if you come over here, you'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 air conditioners in this server room. So the air is never going to be a problem. The other thing as well is we're very, very efficient. If you look up at the ceiling, let's come back over here, you'll see vents up there, and the cold air is strategically placed in front of the servers here, so it sucks in all the cold air, and it goes over into the hot aisle behind this wall here. So very, very efficient server room as well. And finally, if God forbid there was ever a fire in this room, we have here what's called a fire suppression system. What this system does, it's just a bunch of electronics behind here, but we can open it up, okay, is if God forbid there was a fire, and in 25 years there's never been a fire, but it will snuff out all the oxygen in this room. If there's no oxygen, then the fire goes out, right? So we don't use water to destroy the equipment. So that's the basics of the server room. Super, super secure and super redundant relative to your data. So the other aspect to security is we use the exact same security as Amazon, as Google, as all the big players, Microsoft. It's patented security, it's military grade, 256-bit encryption security. So your stuff is very secure.
So we just want to kind of show you a bit of a segment of that.
Yeah.
Video.
We were there a couple months ago. It was really, really cool. They've actually expanded. There's more because we're growing so fast. It's great.
Oh yeah. There's actually a lot more to that than that segment you saw. And folks, what's happening, as I mentioned earlier, there are 2 global trends. And I mentioned on the stock market, you can actually see where the trends are going. And there's a lot of changes happening very, very fast. And folks, let's talk about the reason why we believe that the cloud storage is growing very, very fast. Let's start from this slide.
Yeah, I mean, we all know everybody's got devices, whether it's phones or laptops, computers. I mean, many have several. I know we do if you look in the back here. And what are we all doing? It's simple. We're all filling it up with data. We're living in a paperless world. Mm-hmm. And we're evolving so quickly. So because of this trend, that's why Chris and I said, oh my gosh, we have to be part of this because it's going to be massive. And you're going to see some of the numbers that Chris is going to share with you.
Yeah. And even though this slide is a bit older here, folks, I want you to see where things started from 2011 to 2023, folks. It went from 6% to 60%. That's 10 times the growth in a very short period of time. Now, let's look what's going on as far as the market worldwide, the potential from 2020 to 2030, folks. 90 billion in revenue in 2022 and close to $500 billion in revenue in 2030. And honestly, I think this is a conservative number. I think we'll be close to 3/4 because of what I'm seeing, folks. And mark my words, this is why we're sharing, we're telling you to follow those indicators. And here's one of the main reasons, because of our cell phone addiction.
Yeah, we always have our devices right beside us. And then when they're not, we're always searching for them. He's always saying, hey, did you see my phone? Or I say, hey, did you see my phone? And why? Because we're always using it. There's so many benefits of having devices in today's world. You can search for anything and learn anything with just a click, right? We keep an eye on our property in Toronto while we're in Florida. We stay here for 5 months, and we just, any type of a movement, we get a notice, and we're on our phones. We're just checking things out. So there's so many things. Tapping. How many of you are tapping, right? To do purchases now? And hey, we even take it to the bathroom when we go to the bathroom. That's 73.4%, Chris. That's pretty high.
That's quite significant. And this comes with also some concerns, right? Because we have so much data that are stored into this small little device. What happens if it's lost? 45% of cell phone users have accidentally damaged their cell phone or lost their data. Folks, this is significant. Think about losing 10 years of a piece of your soul that you took pictures from what you've done across the past 10 years, all into one device, and it's not backed up. Do you understand the danger that is? So your cloud storage is like an insurance policy to make sure that if God forbid happen to your device, you can restore this stuff. 5,700 screens are cracked every hour. Laptops stolen every 43 seconds. Here's another message that I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yeah, we all get them, right? That's the greatest thing about having conversations with people, because you can ask this question so easily, right? And people are getting these annoying messages, and they have no choice. They have to pay more, and that's why you gotta hear about what GotBackup offers, because they gotta pay more, or they have to take the time to filter through to see which pictures are not so important, which videos are not so important, or whatever it is, documents. And at the end of the day, we want more storage so that we can keep our memories and not worry about losing them.
I totally agree, Tammy. And the other global trends, and we talked about it earlier, is making more money. This, folks, it's not a hard thing to do. I know that our mind will program to believe that there's just not enough to go around. That is the ultimate lie that I don't know when I say they want you to believe, but it's all about control. And folks, network marketing, the environment that we're introducing with GotBackup, it's one of those environments that can break free from that. 42% of Americans have side businesses. 62% of Gen Z, these are our children, 18 to 25, have side business. I know my kids have side gigs. What about the rest of the world? This is the reason why we're increasing, and we'll show you in how many countries we currently are serving right now. See, leverage these two global trends with GotBackup. Folks, you never want to give up in your dreams. And this is one of those things, one of those businesses that you can afford doing, but in the same time that everyone needs, that gives you a great, great opportunity. So let's summarize here. Let's what we have here, Tammy, share with the audience what we have as a product.
Yeah. And I remember when Joel was sharing this with us, I was like, oh my gosh, this is massive. He gives so much value. It's unbelievable. And there's nobody out there that does this. 6 terabytes of data storage. On your account, you can add 5 additional members, and you can even choose how much data you want to give them. Because maybe, the younger kids, you don't need to give them as much. And unlimited devices. When I saw this alone, for $10 a month is actually $9.97. I started thinking, oh my gosh, every single household will want this. This is massive. And it's a home-based business that pays you. And I know everybody today are looking for ways to make money. What a great way to make money, to bring value like this to families. I get so excited when I talk about this slide.
Oh, no wonder. I mean, look, folks, sometimes people are going to come to you. Well, what about iCloud, Dropbox, Google Drive? We're not saying we're better than all of them at all. What we're saying is that our prices are very competitive. And in fact, like iCloud, if you have a phone, there is a certain amount of free space that you can use just to store your data and all your setting on your phone. But the rest of the bulk, the heavy bulk, it's your pictures and videos. That's what's taking a lot of space. And that's where Dropbox, again, and Google Drive, they're all within a $10 mark, 2 terabytes. And here we're offering 6 terabytes, which is 3 times. That's what I wanted to say, 3 times the space for the same amount of money. Let's look at the yearly packages. iCloud, $360, Dropbox, $660, Google Drive, $260. And folks, don't quote me on the exact amount because things change and updates all the time. But it's to give you kind of an approximation on the difference, where we're just below $100 for the year. So you pay one time for the year. And if you do the math, if you count the amount of months in a year, there's 12 months for $9.97. So you're actually saving 2 months. So November, December is free, matter of speaking, but they still spread it out over a year for you to qualify. It's fantastic. And folks, it comes with so much more, and we'll touch on that as we talk about the support here. The value is unbeatable. So Tammy, let's summarize with folks what we have before we show how to install this.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do a summary, but people spend crazy money to protect the outside of the devices, which is great because if you drop it, you want to make sure it's protected. But what's the most important thing is what's inside the devices, right? So investing in that, 6 terabytes, 3 times more value than the competitors out there, $9.97 a month. It includes up to 6 people on your account, so 5 additional members, and they don't even have to live into your household. This is phenomenal. And then you can use any device, Android or iPhone. You saw a little bit of the where the stuff is being stored, all our precious memories, where they're being stored, and it's military grade encrypted. You can see the 30-day money back guarantee, which is phenomenal. But I don't know anybody who would get that set up to go back to pay more with another service. It's no brainer.
Absolutely. So folks, let's show. There's 2 apps that you install. One to back up your computer, and the other one to back up your phone device. Let's check how simple it is. We'll use the phone device because most people have a phone device. Not everybody has a computer, but let me show you how simple this is.
Hey everybody, this is a quick walkthrough of how to install your GotBackup app onto your mobile device. In this case, I'm using the Android Galaxy, but the process is the same also on an iPhone. So to download your app, there's 2 ways to do this. You can either come to the Play Store. On an iPhone, it's called just the App Store, and just search for GotBackup. And there it is. Or we could come to our members area and go to use this tool, and then you will see it here on your dashboard. So again, I'm using my Android device. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and it's going to take me to my Google Play Store. If you're on an iPhone, it will take you to your App Store on your iPhone device. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and open it. It's going to ask you to log into your account. Go ahead and allow all your notifications so it could let you know that everything's being uploaded properly, and go ahead and put in your unique ID. Once logged in, you will be asked to let GotBackup access your photos and videos on your mobile device. Select Allow. Without having to do anything, an Android upload folder was automatically created for me. Neat! If you are on an iPhone, the folder will be called iPhone Upload. Now, depending on how many photos and videos is on your device, your first backup might take some time. So it is highly recommended that your device is on a charger and is connected to Wi-Fi. It is a good idea to start your first backup in the evening and keep your GotBackup app open and let it back up overnight. One more thing I'd like to point out. If I tap on these 3 little lines on the top left corner and tap on Settings, you will see these 3 boxes under Monitor are automatically checked. Auto Upload will automatically upload all future photos and videos taken on your device to your GotBackup cloud. Camera Roll Upload will back up all existing photos and videos that are stored on your device to your GotBackup cloud. And Upload Only on Wi-Fi will only back up your data while connected to Wi-Fi. If you have an unlimited data plan, you can uncheck this. So if I come to my gallery, I'm going to have a slew of pictures from over the years. This is actually Joel's phone, so if I come to my albums, I have almost 1,400 pictures. Alright, so if I come to my app, come back to my menu and click Transfers, you're going to see all my pictures now are uploading. Since this might be a large upload at first and I have a low battery, it's highly recommended that you plug into a power source. So I'm going to do that right now. Alright, now that's finished. We can now see that our Android upload has all been categorized by what year these photos were taken. These were taken in 2021. And this was just recently. So that's pretty much it. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward.
I mean, folks, you can see how simple it is to install this. And the other aspect that often we kind of forget because we're kind of consumed with the storing our data and everything else. This is the only cloud storage that pays you. So when you look at all the competitors and they're saying, well, what about this company? What about that company? They're offering this, they're offering that. First of all, what we're offering as far as space, I don't think anybody can touch us, but I'm sure there's other features that other companies may have. But the one thing I can assure you they don't have is the making money opportunity. So let's cover this so you have an idea of how significant this can be for you. So Tammy, let's start with the 7 ways to earn.
Yeah, so you can see there's 7 ways. Several are bonuses at the bottom in building, but the highlighted bonuses are the foundation. It's building your network. So let's just jump right into it, Chris. So CAB for short, customer acquisition bonus. That's when you send somebody a link and they decide they want to join, they can choose whether they want to pay monthly or yearly. And if they join yearly, they're going to save a couple months of payments. So if they join to come in monthly, you'll get 200% upfront. So let's round it off to $10. You'll get $20. And if they decide they're going to pay yearly, you're going to get 50% upfront, $50 when they join as a member of GotBackup. And 25% is all the extra stuff that people will purchase. You will get the 25%. On the bottom part is customers only. So these are people who don't want to make money. These are people who just want the service, and you'll get 25% ongoing. So let's go into a couple of examples. So if you had 20 direct referrals, these are members, you'll get 200% on the subscription fee. And so $20 times 20 people, you're going to get $400 in commission. I don't know about you, but $400 right now for people is phenomenal. And
You know
it's
what,
not hard
Tammy?
to get 20 people because it's a $10 item, right?
I just wanted to add, and I'm going to change this slide because the $50, and most people come in with the year package.
True.
So do 20 times $50.
Yeah.
I'm going to show that amount too, because people need to see the reality of what some people are doing, and some are making a whole lot more than that. So
Yeah.
we'll cover that on the next presentation. So let's go back with the customers.
Yeah, very true, Chris. Yeah, because most people actually come in yearly. So example of 20 customers, 25% ongoing, your 250 times 20 customers, $50 ongoing commission. And people are building customers all the time.
I agree, Tammy. And this is on the front end, folks. So GotBackup is very generous considering the price of entry and how much they pay you. I have never seen a company that gives that much. And it's because we're not dealing with a physical product. We're dealing with a digital product. So there's a lot of space that the company can utilize to provide to the inline consumer. Now let's show you what happens on the background as you start building the front end as people come into the business. See, when people come into your business, you place them in a tree. There's a 2-tree system. There's either the left side or the right side that you bring 2 people or 100 people. They have to go either on the right or on the left. So that will create a compounding effect below the person that just came in. So let me give you an example here. Looking at the cycle bonus, there are 2 tiers, tier 1 and tier 2. What does that mean? Well, tier 2 is almost 3 times more than tier 1. So you want to be a tier 2, and I'll show you exactly how to get there in a minute. But the steps is, one is you need to activate, just like as you're paying for your Netflix, your Amazon Prime, your Disney Plus, and all the other programs that are out there or services. As long as you pay monthly or yearly for it in advance, then you're covered. And then the next step is you need to enroll 2 people. So the company says, okay, do your part. Bring 1 person on your left team, 1 person on your right team. From there, you can actually benefit from what we call spillover if someone happens to be sponsoring someone below you, or if your team are starting to sponsor their own members. Now you step into number 3, which is the earning cycle. This occurs when there are 6 people in your business. Remember, 2 of them has to be sponsored by you. So the ratio to receive a payment is 4 on one side and 2 in the other. That's why it is important to understand the ratio. That means at 4 and 2, the system recognizes 6 people in a ratio of 4 and 2. That's one cycle. So my question to you is, how many cycles do you want to earn in GotBackup? Well, that's what's happening on the left and your right as you build. And if you go back to the analogy of Dropbox, who have 700 million users, do you see the potential when we hit momentum, folks? This is the reason why Tammy and I are constantly presenting this to the general public. Now, how the value of a cycle will be based on a company's profitability. As I mentioned earlier, your rank. Number 3, it's what we call cycle match. This is the company rewarding you for sponsoring someone, and that someone happens to be building the business, just like you are. So to earn this bonus, you need to be a Sapphire. And don't worry about this. I'll explain to you the ranks in a minute. So you earn 25% from your personal. Doesn't matter if you bring 200, 2, or 20, or 1,000. You have the potential to earn up to $1,000 for each person you bring into GotBackup based on what they've earned in their cycles. And as you move up in rank, your percentage is increasing. Look what happens when you reach the diamond level. This is $7,500 US per person. Go back with the analogy of Dropbox in a minute. Do you understand the potential we have here as this hits momentum? And after Saturday, there are going to be some announcements that are going to automate your business. You're going to see some massive growth after this. And there's other features that are going to be introduced to the cloud, which I'll be showing you at the end of the presentation here of what you have access to. Look at someone reach a black diamond. That is $20,000 per person. I'm not saying you're going to make that, folks. What I'm saying is this is a ladder of possibilities. It's really, really generous. And the other bonuses that Tammy referenced earlier, these are bonuses that are offered to you as you move up in rank. For example, you become a goal. I'll come back to that. You're a generation bonus. This is, when there's a big side on one side and a small side, well, you can benefit from the big side now. Number 5 is the same, just deeper. And number 6 is you reach certain ranks. You reach a bonus just for maintaining that rank. And then, of course, you move on to the leadership bonus, which is another bonus that's added onto you. So, Tammy, let's summarize with this audience here how simple it is to build this business.
Yeah, super simple. Just get yourself signed up, talk to a few people, get a couple people in, one on the left, one on the right. Chris showed you the team structure, and go and get a couple more people and duplicate that within the organization. And the more you teach people simplicity like this, the more momentum that you'll have in your business. That's one thing that Chris and I really stress the importance of, is duplication. If you want duplication, it has to be simple, and this couldn't be any simpler.
I totally agree, Tammy. How do we get started?
Yeah, so $20 fee, that's an annual fee to get started, to earn income. And then you choose whether you want to come in monthly or yearly. You can see we highlighted yearly because most people will choose that choice because they want to save money. And in today's world, we're finding all the ways to save money. So
Absolutely.
This is an option.
That's an absolute. And folks, we're currently now, right now that slide says 156. I just find out that we're 157 now, just as of this
Honduras.
morning.
Yeah.
Honduras. Awesome. This is part of the Central America. And I didn't have time to change the slide, but I'll take care of that in the next presentation. So folks, this is really, really, really exciting.
Yeah.
And recognizing achievements is so important in our business. So important. Babies cry for it. Adults die for it. And as I mentioned earlier, I'll explain to you the ranks just so you have an idea of how do you get there. See, a bronze is you sponsor one person in GotBackup. A copper, if when people ask me, Chris, what do I need to be aware? What do I need to do to build my business? You need to become a copper, and everybody you're introduced to GotBackup has to become a a copper, excuse me. So from there, if you sponsor one on the left, one on the right, boom, you are a copper. If someone you introduce to the business becomes a copper, boom, you move up into a silver. Now, as a goal, this is your core rank, folks. Every company has a core rank. For us, is to reaching the goal because the income is within $200 to $300 a month, US. So here's what happens as a goal. You have sponsored 5 people, 5. But out of that, 3 are duplicating. That means that they're also a copper. Now you're starting earning the generation bonus I was just telling you about a moment ago, okay? And you're still earning the tier 1 of the cycles, and of course the cab that Tammy talked about, the money that you get paid up front. Now, as a platinum, folks, you're helping one more person. So now there's 4 people that are coppers. So all we talk about is duplication. And what's happening here is as a gold, you have a total of 25 people in your team. Now, as a platinum, you have 40 people in your team. So it's not you bringing 40, it's the combination of the team. But now one more person duplicated became copper. Okay, so what's happening now as a platinum, folks, you remember when I talk about the tier and the cycles, tier 1 and tier 2, you want to be a tier 2? Well, that occurs when you become a platinum. You are a tier 2. So you're tripling your income in your cycle for doing the exact same business with the exact same business. That's really cool. If you recall, as a sapphire, you're introduced another person. Now there's 5 people that are coppers. 5. But now instead of 40, there's 50 people in your team. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Excuse me. There's a total of 10 people that you've sponsored in your business as a sapphire. In fact, it will apply for sapphire and emerald, and I think even ruby. Okay, you need to have 10 people sponsored. So what's happening here, folks, is it's really, really simple. And then the comp plan just opens up to you. This is how significant it is. And if you recall, when you become a diamond, double, triple, then you get 100% matching cycle. Folks, this is very, very simple to do. It makes so much sense. Let's talk about the support that's offered here, Tammy.
Yeah, so you have a personalized referral link. Actually, you're going to be super excited. Show up tomorrow, because when you see what's coming with these links, it's going to simplify your business to a whole new level. I'm just so pumped about it. You have a personalized landing page. You have email marketing system that is built in for free. For free, you guys. Chris has paid lots of money over the years for his email system for our database. And with GotBackup, it's absolutely free. You have marketing tools. You have regular online presentations. You have team trainings that are going on. We train every single Saturday to help the new people get started and to help everybody else to learn how to do this so they can get their people started, right? And yeah, so this Saturday, it'll be a special event, so there won't be a training, but next Saturday there will, on the same channel, on the GotBackup Global Virtual Opportunity channel.
And as a matter of fact, what you're going to learn about this coming weekend, we're going to be training it on the following weekend.
Yes.
So you really utilize it. Folks, at the end of the day, we have a product that everyone needs in a business that everyone can afford. It doesn't matter who you are, where you live, you just need the willing to make a change, and we will work with you. And what I promised you is I just want to share with you how things are actually stored. But just before we do, I really recommend that you click on this notification button here. I'm going to take this link. I'm going to copy it right into the chat, and go ahead and click on this link, and then from there, simply click the notification button to make sure that you are notified the moment this webinar starts. Okay, very, very, very important. Now, when you begin your business, folks, when you are a GotBackup member, this is your back office. Okay, so you can see you got your rank over here, you got your support system, and here are the 2 things. I just want to talk about the use this tool and the reseller tools, because this is where you're going to go after Saturday's announcement of the new tool that's been added on. So as use this tool, let's start with this one. This is, yes, I know, 75%. I'm using quite a bit. I have 4 computers that are backed up. And so I store a lot of stuff because I do a lot of video editing and everything else. So what's happening is this is what you want to click on. If you have a Windows, you click on this. If you have a Mac, you click on this. It will download the app for you to install the software to do the incremental backup to make sure that you have all your stuff, your entire computer, PC or Mac, whatever, backed up to the cloud. If you want more information, there's the installation video here. You can click on this link. It gives you more details. If you have an iPhone device or a Google an Android device, then you can click on these buttons, but between you and I, it's just going to take you to your Apple Store or your Google Play Store. And then from there, you download it and you do it exactly the way the video we shared with you a moment ago. Very straightforward. When you click on this button here, auto login, it will take you to your cloud service. And by the way, you can just open a browser and type in GBU Cloud and it will take you there. Because I've already logged in, my password and everything, credentials are there. It remembers, and then from there, it takes me there. You can see here that this computer, I just updated my MacBook Pro with the latest M4 Max. So I chose to, when I installed it, I told the app that I want to use the same backup that I did with the previous computer. So both computers are interacting with this backup. That's why there's 2.32 terabytes, because both computer has 2 terabytes. And of course, they're half full, and that's where it is. All of that's stored on the cloud. This is a button you're going to see very, very soon when you can click on. And from there, you can see your computer, right? You can see here all your files. Everything is in here. Okay, so this is my computer back in Toronto. This is my computer. That's the one that's behind me over there. That's this one here. Now, if I go down and I check the phone device, my mobile device, because I have an iPhone, it says iPhone upload, as you saw in the video. If you had an Android, it would say Android upload. Just to give you an idea of how it's organized. By the way, I choose name. I always choose by name and descending because I want to see all my dates properly organized. I'm going to use 2024 because that's a full calendar year from January to December. Okay. If I go back here to 2025, if you've been watching our presentation, you notice that in January, we started with one directory. And every month, there's another one that's been adding on because it's automatic. It's an automatic thing. Once it's done, it just backs up the moment it sees there's a new picture over here. Nice and easy. The last thing I want to show you here, if you go to your collaborate and share, you can drag and drop files right into this window, and you can bring directories or you can bring individual files, and we can collaborate and share. So if I click on that, these are all files that are in here where I can collaborate and share with you, and some of those. So at the end of the day, folks, it is so simple. It is an absolute amazing thing. The other thing I want to talk about here is the reseller tool. The reseller tool, when you click on that, it will take you to this area here. And this is what you use, okay, to promote to your prospects. You want to make money? Make sure that these links, not mine, obviously yours, in your back office, are promoted. So really those two, this is someone who wants to start right away. This is someone who has no idea what it's all about. And over here, these are people who wants to try the free package. And below that, I'm not sure exactly how they're going to lay it out. You're going to have the new funnels that's going to be added on, which is really, 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 really exciting, folks. It is that simple. And the lead capture system, folks, we highly, highly, highly recommend that you go back to our trainings and you watch the past trainings that we've done. Tammy talked about the Saturday trainings we do. You can go back to the cloud, the YouTube channel of GVO, go back to the Saturday playlist trainings that we do. I think it's called the training, the GotBackup trainings, and you can see all the past trainings in there. And look for lead capture systems and things like that, and you're going to learn everything you need to learn on how to deal with the leads that are opting in from those links that I just shared with you. So Tammy, as we end, any last thing you want to share?
Yeah. So if you're evaluating this for the first time, I'm telling you, jump in. We jumped in a couple of years ago, and we haven't looked back. It's been so exciting. The one thing that I love about the owner of this company, he's always up to date on what's the greatest marketing out there. And this Saturday, you're going to see. So if you show up on Saturday, you're going to see how big this is going to be. So get yourself positioned. And for those of you who are already in, definitely connect with everybody. You know, this is going to be a big, big special day tomorrow.
I totally
10 a.m.
agree.
Eastern time.
So folks, have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. Show up tomorrow. Don't show up alone. Make sure your entire team is aware of that so you can take advantage of the system and the support that we provide to help you make more money and store your precious data. Have yourself a great, great rest of your Friday, and we'll see you Saturday. Bye for now.
See you tomorrow.